So, as you all know, I normally do these chats after a game, or if we have any exciting news to bring you, which today we do. I'm delighted to be joined by a returning face that the City fans will all know well. So he's returning to the Charters Community Stadium for a second spell. I'm delighted to be joined by Callum Chugg. Chuggy, first of all, welcome back to the club. It's great to have you back with us.
Thank you, mate. Yeah, it's good to be back.
So, first things first, how did this one come about? Was it a case of, obviously you wanted to come back, but was it a case of, did Davo come knocking, or how did it pan out?
For those who don't know, I was at Hive and Dibden at the start of the season, and the 7-day approach came in. The Hive manager pulled me to a side and obviously told me about the approach, which I was a bit surprised, to be honest. Obviously, seeing that Winch going up and being in the Southern Prem and stuff like that, David likes to get his business done early. But at the same time, I wasn't surprised because I know me and David got on really well, and
yeah,
I really enjoyed playing under him, and he knows that I probably would have come back with any chance. But yeah, and then I spoke to him today, and he just obviously told me all the things I wanted to hear. It'd be nice to be, obviously, if those that don't know as well, I live in Winchester, so it'd be nice to be closer to home. And I've got great memories from last year, getting promotion, which obviously goes down as probably the best memory in my football career so far.
Yeah.
So why not sort of carry that on and see what we can achieve this year? So it was a no-brainer, really.
For sure. Well, obviously we're delighted to have you back. So you spent the early part of the season playing in the Wessex Prem with Hive and Dibden. How would you say the season's gone for you so far, sort of on a personal level on the pitch?
I think it's been a weird one for me personally. It's the first time I've really played in the Wessex League. Didn't really know what to expect. I think anyone that has played in the Wessex knows that it's sort of a strange one. One week you play against a team who's absolutely class and they've got players that should be playing a lot higher, and then the other week you're playing against a team who should be in the Hampshire Prem, and there's not much consistency. I think personally I've had an okay start to the season, to be honest. I've kept the cards down, which is quite a big thing for me.
Yeah.
And I've had to sort of be a bit more of a leader, which I'm not really used to. The Hive squad is quite a young squad. There's a lot of good players in there. They just need a bit of time maybe to develop and a bit more game time at that Wessex level before they move up. And I think definitely a few of them can. But I sort of had to be that older head, which I'm only 24, which is something I'm not really used to. But it was really enjoyable and nice to have that opportunity to be able to pass on skills that I've learned from when I was going through at a younger age, and things that you don't learn till a bit later in football. So it's been quite successful, I would say, on that front. It's very early in the season, and I think we can still achieve something at Winch, and I think that's why it's quite a good time for me to get in there rather than any later.
Sure. Yeah. We totally agree. So it hadn't gone unnoticed that you appeared on the score sheet a couple of times for Hive and Dibden earlier in the season. Is that part of the game that you're working on? Is that something you'd be hoping to bring back to Winch? What are your sort of goals for the rest of the season now that you're back?
I mean, yeah, on the goal front, I think it's been a bit frustrating for me the last few seasons because I've only scored sort of one or two, and especially when I was at Tottenham in my sort of earlier career, I used to pride myself on being quite a consistent goal scorer and score sort of 6 or 7 a season, which is quite high for a centre half. And I like to think of myself as a bit of an aerial threat. Mm-hmm. I was hoping to go to and play in the Wessex and maybe get a few more goals, because obviously the players are switch off a little bit easier and maybe a little bit more naive sometimes. It wasn't a massive surprise. If I'm honest, I would probably like to have had a few more. I've had a few more chances to hit the post and crossbar quite a few times. But if as of goals, I think my first and foremost is to enjoy football at Winch, to sort of help the squad and gel as much as I can. I know it's going to be a bit weird, obviously coming back in. There's a lot of new players there and a lot of new faces, but there's still some old ones there as well. But I think it's obviously the first season in the Southern Prem for the club ever.
Yeah.
I'm under the impression.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
So no one wants to say the aim is to stay up, but I think the aim is to take every game by game.
Yeah.
And see what we can get from those games. And ideally, we want to sort of be in that mid-table between sort of maybe the 12th, 13th, that sort of space for this year, and then build on it, because it's not gonna be an overnight thing. I think Davo knows that, and everyone at Winchester knows that. These things take time, and the important thing is that we stay in that league and see where we can go from there, I think.
For sure. Well, Chuggy, thanks very much for your time, and we look forward to seeing you back in the City shirt again.
Thank you, mate.